All right, so we're into the end of July 2017 and we're going to head to Bailey's Point. Bailey's Point's up in Scottsville, Kentucky, between Scottsville and Glasgow. Take us about an hour to get there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a trip. I'm going to lay it all out for you. We got a campsite right on the Barren River Lake, site B45. So as we go along, we'll give you good tips and show you the way around. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so we just got checked into our site. It's site B45. Bailey's Point's got like 5 different little sub campgrounds within the giant campground, and this one is it goes A, B, C, D, E, maybe F. Anyhow, so we've got on our side is B45. As you can see, we're getting ready to do a bicycle ride on Angie's new little bicycle. What kind of bicycle did you get?
It's my caddy.
Your caddy. Yeah, she calls it a Cadillac because it's the Cadillac of bicycles.
It's nice.
So
gotta get one.
as we go, she promotes it dearly. Okay, so as you see, we've got plenty of space here. There's a burn pit, there's a table for your grill, and we've got all the amenities that we need. Of course, the truck fits in here just fine. Now, what I think is really nice about our site is, good grief, look at this view behind me. All on the lake, as you can see, as far as you can see. I think this is probably the first site that we've had actually where we are just totally surrounded by this giant piece of water, which is really pretty. But I'll just come down here a little bit. So at the end of our site down here, it comes out to where the main loop is for this particular campground. And as you can see down below is a rock bank, and then at the water, we're going to take the boat and put the boat out here and anchor it in. That way, rather than go to the ramp repeatedly, we can just walk down this rocky bluff, try not to hurt ourselves, and get in the boat. Right down here, though, is a sandbar that we can pull up to as well. On the back side of this place here, there's a swimming area, and there were several boats parked there, down there as well. So, man, this is just a super site. As we continue to go on, I'll show you each of the different campgrounds and different things with each of those. So right now as it stands, B45 is a thumbs up. Keep watching. So every time you go to a campground, or you go to a hotel, or you're looking at a house or whatever, the first thing you always ask is, what about this bathroom? So I'm here at the bathhouse Campground B. I don't know if it's shared, but I know it's at part B. As we go around, I'll look for others and we'll give tours of others. But let's just take a look at this one. Check this one. There's no one in here. So you walk in to the campground. It's located in the bathroom, and it's located right in the center of the campground, on the top of the hill. Go in here. First thing you see is there they always have urinals, and they also have these regular toilets, which are perfectly clean. They have good locking, sturdy doors. They're not just falling apart wood, it's good quality. And then here they have showers, and in the shower you can see that they have the same type of locking mechanisms. So it's not a shower curtain, but it's an actual locking door. So these are really nice. It's a good shapely area. The women's side also has the same amenities, and is plentiful. So plenty of room. This is a large campground. As I've said, or you may know, there are 5 sub campgrounds within this one large campground. So there's a lot of people here, and to accommodate all those people, they're putting several toilets, showers, and sinks in. So that's just a quick tour of the restroom. And as I said, you know, everywhere we go, restroom is an important place, right? So let's a good look at that. Okay, so we're at the entrance point of Bailey's Point Campground, off Bailey's Point Road. And directly upon entering, on either side, as you can see here and here, are dump stations. So it looks like they got a dump station in and a dump station out, and you could probably use them vice versa. So they're both there on your exit or entrance or double exit, whichever way it works for you. And immediately upon entering, you'll see other signs. Because there are multiple campgrounds within this campground, there's perfect directions as to where to go. As you can see, the sign behind me here has Campground A, and then B cites this, and this, and you go these directions. If you're going to take another entrance, you'll see on this side here campgrounds C, D, E, and F, and they go that way. Now off Bailey's Point Road there is a separate entrance for those campsites, but however, if you take an entrance to where we came in for campsites A, B, and C, you can also see the other ones, which are down that road. So this is probably going to be pretty lengthy, but we're going to take and give you a tour of various sites in this area. And we're going to start with Campground A, so it's logical to go in alphabetical order, so we'll go start with Campground A. So if you bring your boat like we have, and you're unable to get your vehicle and trailer, or your boat, vehicle, and trailer into your campsite, there are two different parking areas to put your vehicle, trailer, and boat. This is one of them. This is near the ramp. Now the ramp is a pretty steep ramp. Once you get on the bottom, it flattens out a little bit and you can push right off. But to park your vehicle, you have to come up to one of these areas here. And as you can see, there are a few vehicles that have boats that are sitting. This is at the beginning of Campground A. The other is between campgrounds A, B, and C, and D, E, and F. So it's between the two threes. Okay, so Campground A, we're going to start with the first few sites. Most of the sites appear to be this way. Campground A1, A2, and then A3. This one here is A4. As you can see, it's pretty long. You can accommodate an SUV, a boat, and then there's pop-up there. So these are all flat. Some are asphalt. They all have picnic tables, electrical, water. They have a utility pole for whatever you hang, a trash bag, a lantern, whatever you need. There are other sites such as A6 here, which are gravel. Now these upper sites of the A campground, the side beyond the campsite is like a bluff. So there's a pretty steep drop there and it goes straight to the water. So you might want to be mindful of that if you have small children or something of that nature. Directly across from A6 and 7 is a bathhouse. You'll see, as you've already seen, the video of the bathhouse is there as well. This is the A campground bathhouse. Okay, so we've made a few sites down in the A campground. We'll just kind of go. These is A20, A19, A21. Correction, this is A19, so that must be 18 back there. Again, these are all, they've got a perimeter of timber. They're all reasonably flat at the pad, and then maybe an incline or decline to get to the actual pad. So not too much of one, nothing so steep it's just not manageable. So nice looking site here, A22. Get down to it and it overlooks the water. It's pretty high up, so again, if you have small children that like to wander or ride a tricycle or something of that nature, not able to stop themselves, you may be considerate of that. The site here is A23. It has a concrete pad, not very long, certainly great to get onto. And it too overlooks the water. Now behind me here is A25, and it's about like ours. There's an incline to get into it, and follow up with A26 has that, and A27 has the incline. All of them have some sort of grade to get into, most, whether it's an upgrade or a downgrade, but there's still a grade, but otherwise they flatten out pretty level. Okay, so we've made it to the B campground, which is where we are. Again, we're at B45. Now I want to show you something that you might want to be on the look for. Is this campsite here is campsite A4. Okay, so A4 is a nice site. It's pretty short, but if you have children, it would be great because there's a playground right behind it. There are swings behind it, and then further down this way is an amphitheater. So if you want some quietness, I don't know that I would pick this one. However, if you got some energetic children, and a lot of them, this playground place is the best part to go. So it is a nice playground. It's well kept and manicured, but it's right next to the site, so be mindful of that. Site here's A5, and then A6. As you can see, it's a gravel pad. It's got everything you want. Slight decline to get into it, but once you're there, it levels out pretty easily. We'll continue to go on.
That was an A.
On the A's. So directly from the restroom here, which the entrance is well back here, directly from the restroom, if you'll turn around and go down the roadway, there are a few sites. Now you can see the lake, and we are down further, closer to the lake, but you can see that. But we'll go through a couple of these sites. You see large fifth wheel here. All of these sites are relatively level. They have gravel and pretty long. These are sites B31, 34, 35, 34. This one here is 31. So below 30s. And as you continue on, you're going to drop off. And when you drop off, you come to where we are, which is to the side. But again, I'll give you another view. Here's the lake. This is our camper down here on the bottom. And again, we're B45. As we go through the campground, I'll show you some good sites, show you what they have, and we won't cover all of them, like I said, because it's pretty huge. And there are some that I wouldn't have. So it's just a matter of preference of what you want. But we like good, roomy, level sites that can accommodate both vehicles, meaning the truck, the camper, and then the Explorer and the boat trailer. And we've got our boat sitting in the water, and it's pulled up to the shore. Now the B sites, as we go down the hill and closer to the water, are plentiful. B site here, this is a pull through. I think it's B35, as you can see. It's a pull through. And then at B38, we've got several little dogs that are going crazy at us. That's something you got to kind of watch. This person here looks like they're visiting. But that's B38, and it's a pull in and right close to the water behind us here. B39 is a pull through as well. Now there's a couple of these that I don't know that they have electricity or water. So when you're making your reservation online, make sure that you note whether they have water or electricity. You kind of got to pay attention to that. Sometimes you could be stuck working on battery or solar power, which is not entirely a bad thing, but you want the good amenities and you want to plug up, you'll have that. So the site is directly behind me is B42. And I talked about in just the previous segment about sites that didn't have electricity. So I think this is one of those sites. I don't see an electrical box. At B43, I also don't see an electrical box, but there is water lines up into the grassy area. So just again, be mindful of that when you make your reservation so that you don't end up without electrical site. Okay, so we're here at site B45. This is our site. And as you can see, there is an incline to get into the site, and once you get in, it's leveled off. Make note, especially Angie's freshly washed and detailed Explorer, as she wants to make sure that it's always clean at any point in time. She pulled the boat up here with the Explorer, and as you can see, our boat is a 20-foot pontoon boat, so the trailer is reasonably 26 foot or ish. So we've got this vehicle here, the trailer, the truck, and then the camper all fit into one site. Fits in there well, and she's right at the edge of where the roadway is, but we're able to keep that with us. We didn't have to park it up there at the extra boat parking. So, you know, taking into account all of that, if you can fit your vehicles in and fit them in reasonably, you're fine. Of course, we have an area we can ride our bicycles down the hill or what have you, but we fit in there very well. Campground B47, or campsite, and here is 48. So reasonably 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 have some sort of incline to get to. The roadways into the site are asphalt, and the site itself is gravel on the B area. There's a pull through coming up right here behind us. This is B50 and so onward. Now there's a hill on the past the 50 mark that you have to go up. It's got a pull through site, looks like maybe 52, Now, it would be somewhat difficult to maneuver. There is a person here with a boat trailer and a utility vehicle parked with camping in a tent, but it'd be difficult to put a large size travel trailer there just based on the degree of incline. Now, we skipped the lower numbers of the D campground. I went into the 30s immediately, so what you'll see behind me here is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and so on. So this is 12. Got a fifth wheel in there. This is 13, 14, 15, and onward. So these are across from the bathhouse at the top side where we did the bathhouse a little earlier in the video. One thing that's kind of neat about this bathhouse is the camp host lives at 15. Across the walkway from 15, and right now it's not open, is right here a little double digit or double door opening. And from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and from 5 to 7 p.m. is a store. So there's a little store here, and they sell, you know, a couple of sweets, a couple of soft drinks, just items that you might need so you don't have to run to the store down the road to get those. It stays open all the time from 5 to 7. Doors are open, but from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. you can simply knock on the camp host door and explain to them what the issue is that you may need, and she'll walk over there and get it. So that's pretty neat. I have to admit, it's nice to have that here at the campground. Where the big truck is 18, 20, maybe 21, 22. Again, we're at the top of the hill and we're going back down. Alright, here's 21. That over there was 19. 21. So all these again are asphalt entrance, and then there's gravel where the camper sits. Really nice. So we're on to Campground C. As you can see behind me, the Jeep and the Toyota are at Campground C1, C2, C3, C4, and C5. Relatively level sites. Now this is a little further up from the water. And the gravel bar to park all your boat in is not like that gigantic shot rock. This is a little bit more river sand or river gravel. So it's much more forgiving to the bottom of your boat. Fortunately, we just had a spot near where we were. Otherwise, as you can see, there are boats lined up where people are parking and then walking down. C12, C13, 14. Looks like the front part of these are the lower members of the C campground. A little bit shorter sites. They're parked directly across from the water. But this is certainly a more treed area, as you can see, as opposed to the B campground. We'll continue on and see what we can see with that. This one here is C15. So we're in the high numbers of the 20 or the C campground. This is C19, C20, C21, C22, C23. Now, when you get into this area, it almost feels like you're not even at the lake. I mean, you can see it from down there, but the view isn't as much. You don't get that breeze off the water. It's more secluded and nice. Probably a lot cooler if you're not in the sun as well. So those are things to think about. We're onward to Campground D. Okay, so we've made our way through A, B, C, and at the end of C is another bathhouse. So each respective campground has its own bathhouse. Now across from that bathhouse for Campground C, a couple of dumpsters to take your trash and an exit to the main road. We'll continue on and give you a little bit more to see about D, E, and F. So we're here on the Barren River Lake. Angie's sitting. Logan's driving. I tell you, we're typically in River on Old Hickory Lake in Middle Tennessee, but we're on the Barren River Lake. And today, we're taking a little bit of time to do some tubing. We've done some fishing, just whatever we can do, swimming. We've done it all here. But this water is super deep. Right now we're at 50 feet. That seems to be the common amongst the middle of the lake. No junk floating around. The water's relatively clear. If you're familiar with Center Hill or Dell Hollow, they're like that also. But it's really pretty out. Another thing that you can do, again, from Bailey's Point, there's several lake accesses on this lake, up and down the river area. So, good time to be had by all. Okay, day 2 of our campground exploration. So, here we're entering Campground D. Behind me at Campground D is a playground. So the entrance of Campground D is a playground. We'll go on in down the roadway here and take a look at these sites. So Campground D is definitely wooded. You can see from behind me, we are in the wooded areas. So what we're looking at is Campground D for over here is 1, maybe 2, and then 3 and 4. The water is just right out this way here. It's kind of up on a bluff, and you can see it pretty well. You just don't have that direct access to it like you did in C and B and some of A. So we'll continue around and see what we find out. Okay, so again, we're continuing on through Campground D. That's site 7 coming up right here beside me and then back behind me. Again, the water is a quick drop off down that way. You can access it. It's a pebble-like or creek gravel kind of beach, but certainly usable. And again, we're still in the woods. All right, again, we're coming out of Campground D. It looks like it's got about 17, 18 sites. You can see this one here is an incline. The others here accommodate a pop-up with a gravel pad. And then behind me, there's a couple more sites. So you can see how that works out. Campground D is pretty nice. It's wooded, well shaded. And again, availability to the water. There's even a swimming area down below and behind site. I guess it's maybe 16. So right down the hill from 16 in the water is a swimming area. Okay, so we're at our final loop. I thought that there was a Campground F, and there is obviously a sign for Campground F. But if you can see behind me, Campground F is blocked off, so it's not open or in use. So we'll continue on to Campground E. At the entrance is a bathhouse. I'm sure it looks like all the other bathhouses. I'll leave that for you to discover. We'll continue on, take a look, see what else there is, and see what else is available on Campground E. Okay, so I'm standing in E7. Now behind me, way up here by the bathhouse, is E1. So if you've got bathroom concerns and you want something close, go to E1. It's about 8 feet away. Otherwise, if you want to go a little further out, you can go there. Now remember, you're coming down this hill here, and several of these sites are on a decline. So that means you have to back up into the site. And if you have something pretty large or something not as sturdy in the rear end, you may not want to take one of these sites. So remember that. Over here is E6. It's a good and level site. This is E7 here. Probably E5 behind me. It's all incline up, and then once you get at your pad, it's pretty leveled out. Now it splits. The loop splits here. As you can see, there's a sign, and certain sites go down this roadway, the other sites go down this roadway. Just keep in mind of that. All right, I've made it to E14. So 14, as you see, goes directly back into the woods. It's a pretty good pad, pretty short. Over here is 13, and then back again is 12 and 11. Many of these E sites in the lower numbers 9 through 29 are well shaded. If you look on the back side of me, you see the lake, and it's a pretty good drop off back there, but again, you can pull your boat up. You just got to get down there to it. Sometimes that's a little work. So it looks good though. I like it in here. It's kind of cool, well shaded, and typical camping-esque, not bright sun, well shaded, and a great place to sit. And I imagine it's just even darker at night. Okay, so this site here, E20. The site beyond E20, I think, is either 21 or 22, I'm not sure. But you can see this large travel trailer backed in, and it's a pull-through site. And what they are doing is the rear end is probably 4 foot off the ground. So if you're trying to use your leveling jacks, it's quite a job to get your vehicle and your camper leveled out because of the high rise. They could probably pull through a little further, but where they're sitting, they're having to use like a 6x6 on end. So it's probably an 18-inch tall 6x6 stacked up that they're going to try to jack up their camper with. So be mindful of that when you're like this site here, I don't know, it's 21, 22, something of that nature. So you got to be mindful. Again, we're in the woods. Down here is the lake, and it's pretty grassy and it's pretty steep. So you got to be mindful of that too. If you have small children, just be careful to let them run around at rampant pace. Otherwise, these are nice back here. I like the shadedness. Okay, I'm at the exit of the first set of E sites, 28, 29. Again, those are the last two, as you can see behind me here. All those sites look good. Now it goes on up, I think, to 40 something. But just keep in mind the E campground is on a hill. So when you're going through and trying to pick out your site, make sure that you're capable of maneuvering hilly areas. Okay, so we've done our full tour of the campground, and they've kind of given you an understanding of all the sites that are within this from all varieties. Again, we're at B45. I couldn't be happier with it, although at about 5, 6 o'clock in the evening right now, as you can see, the sun is glaring. So be prepared for that when you take sites like this. You got to squint a little bit. So as you saw, we were riding our bicycles. We like to take our bikes everywhere we go. They're fun to get around. They're hot, they're sweaty, they're a good workout, and they can be cool from time to time. But understand, when you're taking your bikes out, always keep a helmet. Sometimes you'll see us with them, sometimes you'll see us without them. But certainly want to have the little ones to wear a helmet, and mom and dad, we need to wear ours too, so be mindful of that. Okay, so directly behind me here is the boat ramp to Bailey's Point. And we put in there first day we got here, which was Thursday. And we just pulled our boat up, as you saw, Wednesday. And you saw as we pulled up to the shore. Well, we're out here on the lake, and you know, you can pull up just about anywhere that has a rocky beach and get out here and swim. So we're out here swimming. The water's reasonably shallow in this place. And as you see, we've got our boat tied off. We've been down to the river bridge at 31E River Bridge, past the state park, and then all the way to the dam. So we've covered a lot of area out here on the boat. But sure, this is a great time to come out here and just sit in the sun, swim a little bit, and enjoy your time. As you see, always have your life jackets handy, and sunshades, and a hat preferably, and I haven't got my hat. We've done a little bit of tubing, not much, but it's worked for me, so I'm trying to encourage other people to do the same. Okay, so I've talked about the little store we got here at Campground B at Bailey's Point. So I want to take you inside. I want to show you what they've got and show you what's operable. By the way, Pam operates this. She does this, as I talked about, from 5 to 7 p.m. on evenings. And if you need an emergency or have something you got to get, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. What she has here also you can get is ice from the ice machine, and then they have a couple of free book trade-off stand. As you can see, there's a few books right here. So we'll go in the store. They have all the ice cream that you might need. They have the soft drinks you may need. There's other things. Of course, I've made a trip up here every day talking about getting a Nutty Buddy, and got Nutty Buddies. But they have all the sweets, the chips for the kids, odds and ends that you may need. There's Reynolds wraps, paper plates, napkins, all the way around, milk, eggs. It just goes and goes. There's some fishing tackle, normal camping gear, that kind of stuff, and then other things that you may need for cooking. But it's a great little setup to have available here at Campground B. Super helpful and super reliable, and right here at a reach of your hand to make sure you get all your needs taken care of. Thank Pam for that, and then come in and visit her. Okay, so we've concluded our visit here at Bailey's Point. We spent Wednesday night through Sunday morning here, and it's the first time we've been at this campground. It's up near Scottsville, Kentucky, above Scottsville, south of Glasgow on 31E. It's a great place to visit. We've been boating, we've been fishing, we've been camping, we've been swimming, we've been biking. We've done everything that we can do as far as that's concerned. It's been a great time. It's a beautiful place. And you know, on the way out here, you think you're going back in the middle of nowhere, but you certainly are. And once you get back to the campground, there's this kind of silence that you long await for oftentimes when you are camping. Sometimes you're camping with hustle and bustle, sometimes you're back in the sticks. This one is back in the sticks. All in all, this is a great campground, 5 out of 5 stars all the way around. I don't think you could ask for anything more. Make sure you visit Bailey's Point near Scottsville, Glasgow, Kentucky on 31E. Until next time, hey, make sure you subscribe to my videos. Leave me comments, any kind of feedback you can do, and I'd be happy to have it.